All right, congratulations. You're almost done with the 7-day resistance band workout. This is day 7. If you're following the schedule that we have on the website, it's Saturday. Saturday is walk run day. Walk run day. Now we call it walk run day for a reason. If you don't run or you haven't run in a long time, please start out by walking. And maybe, a brisk walk, but at least start walking and wear a heart rate monitor or stop periodically to take your heart rate. The concept here is just to get your heart rate up to 50 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. And as you progress, yes, you can go to 70 to 85%, but let's start 50 to 70%, again, using a heart rate monitor and calculating your maximum heart rate, which you can do on our website. But get that 50 to 70% and keep it in that zone for about 30 minutes. That's the goal. And it should take you that certainly to walk yourself 3 miles if you're starting out walking. It'll probably take you about an hour or so. If you're running, of course, it's going to be less than an hour, but still over 30 minutes. So start with walking. Then what you can do is as you progress and you go, wow, I got this walk down, I feel really good. You can then pick it up and do, let's say 100 yards of running and then stop, walk, get your heart rate down to that 50 to 70%. And then if you feel good, your legs feel good, your knees feel good, do some more running, stop, calm your heart rate down, etc. And then you can start incorporating, maybe starting out by running a quarter of a mile or half a mile, then getting the heart rate down. In other words, it's a progression, and you can progress all the way up to where you can run the entire 3 miles. I know it's possible because both Shirley and I did it. And don't forget, I'm 62. I'll be 63 here in just a little bit. So it is definitely possible. Now make sure you warm up before you start and hydrate, because to walk 3 miles again, you're going to be gone over an hour. Now you could take some water with you, but if you don't, just know you got to go without water for over an hour. So make sure you hydrate very well. And again, I would suggest maybe you take some water with you. And then when you get back, make sure you stretch. Now, one thing is before you go, you can use the phone app called Map Runner. We talk about it in the article on the website. You can download it from Google Play or the App Store, and it'll track your mileage and it'll track your speed for every mile, so to speak, and all those kinds of things. But really, it's going to track your mileage. So all you need to do is open up the app, start a session, and then walk. And every once in a while, check your phone. And when it gets to 1.5 miles, you turn around and you come back. It makes it very easy. All right, go out and have yourself a great walk or run. And again, tomorrow we start it all over again. And tomorrow's Sunday Fun Day. It's an easy bike ride. So you'll have a nice day off tomorrow. Take good care. So excited you made it through your first week. Congratulations. Welcome to the 7-day workout program with lifestyleover50.com. This is our warm-up, and each day we are going to warm up. So we start from the head and work our way all the way down to the toes. So first off, we're just going to rock our head forward and back. We're not going to jerk it, and we're not going to stretch it too bad. We're just getting it to move, and then we're going to move our head around to the left and around to the right and just loosen up that neck. Then we're going to move into our shoulders, and we're going to just move our shoulders backward to get those shoulders loosened up. Go backward maybe 10 reps, and then you're going to go forward 10 reps. You're just trying to loosen up the top back muscles there and the shoulders and make movements that maybe you don't normally do in the course of a day, and these are really good for your joints and your muscles and your ligaments and so forth. Now you're going to move your arm forward, just swing your arm forward. You're not trying to grind that shoulder joint. You're just trying to loosen it up. Just loosen it up, move it forward 10 and then back 10 on the right side. And then when you're done there, you're going to move to the left side. Now notice I've got one leg forward. My opposite leg is forward. So in this case, I'm doing my left arm. And what happens, my right foot is forward. Again, this is not to jerk that joint or injure it in any way. It's just to get some movement forward, get some movement back. Again, 10 on each side is sufficient. Now we're going to swing from side to side. Now, one thing when you're doing this, pay attention to my feet here. When I'm moving to the right, I move up my right toe or get up on my right toe. When I move to my left, I get up on my left toe. I'm not trying to jerk anything here. I'm trying to just loosen up my upper torso. Now we're going to move to the lower joints, so in the hips, and we're just going to rock back and forward, move around in a circle from the left to the right, just loosen up those hips a little bit, and once we're done moving around, we're going to go back and forth from left to right. And we just want to feel a little bit of a stretch there in the hips, not trying to do anything crazy here, just trying to loosen things up. Now this one might be a challenge, so you may want to use a chair to balance yourself. It took me a while to create the balance to be able to do this without starting to fall over and things like that. But basically you're lifting up your knee straight and then moving it outward. And here you're just trying to open up those hips. Just get those hips open a little bit, grease those hip joints. But again, be very careful until you have your balance down. Use a chair to be able to balance yourself. But this is great for getting those hips warmed up, especially if you're doing a leg workout or a run. Now we're just going to go down to the knees. See how we're going from top to bottom, from head to toe? So we're just going to put our hands on our knees, bend our knees, and move around in a circle from the left to the right. And if you can get down as far as you possibly can and loosen up those knees. That's a joint that sometimes we all have a problem with as we get older, correct? And then the last thing we're going to do is we're just going to loosen up the ankles a little bit as well. So just get up on that left toe in this case, but make sure you're firmly planted on your right foot. Swing your left toe from side to side and do the other side. And that is your warm-up. So I hope you had a great workout. You got a little bit of a sweat going. You worked on that specific area of your body. But now you want to take the time to stretch. So important that we stretch every day. And even if you don't work out in a day. So in other words, if you miss a workout, try to take the time and stretch. Now here we're doing a 90-90 stretch. Why 90-90? Because my left leg is at a 90-degree angle and my right leg is also at a 90-degree angle. My left leg doesn't look like it because of the angle of the video, but it is. So you want to go on a 90-90 degree angle and then lean back, and you may not be able to get your back all the way to the ground, especially if you're a guy. Ladies, you might be able to do that. I certainly can't, so I lean on my arm. So do that for about 30 seconds, and then you're going to come up and you're going to lean out over your left leg. This is a back stretch now, and it's going to stretch, as I'm pointing to right now, your inner thigh or inner hamstring area. So you want to lean out over, get on your elbows, and then feel this stretch in your lower back. And as you can, come down even further, your head towards the floor or towards your hands, as I'm doing right now, and then hold that for 30 seconds, and then you're going to try to sit up straight. And I have to hold on to my right knee, as you're seeing right now. Now again, ladies are more nimble typically, and you don't have to do that. Guys, you may not be able to do this right away. I couldn't when I first started this. So you just want to sit straight up. You're working that outer right hip when you're doing that. Now you're going to switch over and you're going to do 90-90 on the other side. And of course, as you did before, you're going to lean back and you're going to feel that in that left hip, that outer left hip. You're going to feel that. And you just try to lean back, enjoy it. You'll learn to enjoy it and stretch that whole area of your body. Again, something that you don't normally do every single day. It's a great stretch. So start there. Go back as far as you can. Don't push it, but exert yourself a little bit. Push the limit just a tad. And now you're going to come and you're going to lean out, in this case, over your right leg, feeling that back stretch. I was just pointing to my back there. So lean forward out over that leg, get on maybe your elbows. If you can, get down on both elbows. And I can't do that, but maybe you can. Again, we're all different, aren't we? So once you're done that, then you're going to try to sit up again. Now on my left side here, or sorry, on my right side, I have a little bit more of a challenge. That left hip is tighter. That's where my surgery was. But it's okay. I've worked it to the point where I can at least sit up. I still have to hold on to that left knee. But again, this 90-90 stretch is phenomenal. So once you're done with that, you are going to get up on your hands and knees, and then you are going to move into a hip flexor stretch. We do this in our hip stretch on Fridays. And so you're going to lean forward. And if you want to sit straight up like this, you can do that. I like to lean forward on my right hand in this case. Notice my left hand is on my left knee, and that's because sometimes my knee wants to bow out, and I want to keep it straight. Now, where the stretch you should be feeling in this case is in your right leg. The right leg is the one that is back, and you're trying to feel a stretch in your hip flexor there. What a great hip flexor stretch. So you're going to do that, hold it for 30 seconds on your right side, and then move over and pull out or move out your right leg. And again, balance yourself if you're going to lean forward. Again, if you want to sit straight up, you can. I have to hold that knee in so it doesn't bow out, so I get that proper stretch. You can do it this way. It's a lot easier this way. I like to get that hip flexor stretch in that left hip flexor by leaning forward. Once again, a great hip flexor stretch. So I'm going to move to the sort of the landscape side of things here so that you can get a full angle of what I'm doing. This is the frog stretch. We also do the frog stretch on Fridays. Now, I like to rock back and forth to do this. It just feels good getting those joints loosened up. I've got my knees out to either side. You can go as far as what's comfortable for you. You don't want to pull a groin there. And then move forward and put your hands down and just hold that stretch. And then move even further forward, get to the point where you can get down on your elbows. This is awesome for your hips. And move out as far as you can and play with it a little bit. Don't want to injure yourself, and this may take time for you to be able to do this. So that's the frog stretch. Now we want to get up on our hands and our knees. And what we're doing here is called cat-cow. Now, it's kind of a yoga move, or it is a yoga move, but it's cat-cow. So what I'm doing at the moment right now is I'm doing the cat, right? Cats arch their back like that. And this is great for your back. You're trying to get movement in your spine. So this movement would be moving my spine outer and then down inner and getting movement in my lower lumbar area for sure. So you're going to do the cat and then come down to the cow. And you can do this as much as you want. You could do it 5 times up and 5 times down, 10 times up, 10 times down. It just depends on how much movement you want to get there and how much you want to work on this. But this is a phenomenal stretch or movement for your back, for your spine. And of course, as we get older, we have spine problems sometimes, right? We arch our backs forward and hunch over, and that's going to help. What we're doing is we're stretching our Achilles. We're down on one knee in our hands. We've got in this case, our left leg back. All we're trying to do is stretch that Achilles. I don't know if you've ever snapped an Achilles or know somebody that has, but it's one of the most painful things, as I'm told, that you can ever go through. So we want to make sure this is nice and loose. We're going to do it on the left side, hold it for 30 seconds, and then move forward with that left knee and then go back on the right leg and hold that stretch again for about 30 seconds. This is just to stretch your Achilles. Okay, next up, we're going to go from that into downward dog. Another yoga move. You're going to be on all fours, of course, and you're going to move up and put your head down between your arms. And again, this is for your hamstrings and your Achilles and for a lot of different areas of your body. It's not an easy move to do. You may have to work towards doing this, but what a great move. and blood's going to rush to your head. There's all kinds of things that are going to happen with downward dog, but give it a good try and see what you can do with it, and hold it for 30 seconds if you can. If you can't, first time you do it, hold it for 10 seconds and then work your way up to 30 seconds. Now we're going to go from that into Cobra, and we are going to just get down on our hands and knees and push up and just let it go. And you want to support yourself with your arms, of course, and just put your head up. And the whole thing here is you're working on your lower back, your lumbar area. And you might even hear a little bit of a movement in your lower back. It's all good. You don't want to injure yourself, of course, so don't force it down there. But you're just letting things ride and trying to be as loose as you possibly can in this position. I've had some dramatic improvement in my lower back. I've been doing these exercises, so I highly, highly recommend them. Now we're going to move into the Sphinx. So we're going to go from the Cobra into the Sphinx. So it's similar but different. You're going to get down on your elbows, and you can see why they call it the Sphinx, right? So your head is up. You want to make sure that your elbows are far enough forward so you're not putting a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and you're going to hold this. Now you can hold it for as long as you like. Some yoga instructors will tell you to hold it for 20 minutes. I don't generally hold it for 20 minutes. I hold it for 2 or 3 minutes. If you start out and it is uncomfortable for you, just hold it for maybe, again, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, move to 30 seconds, and then maybe move to a minute. All these moves are going to gradually get better. You're going to get better at them as time goes on. So this is the Sphinx. Okay, once you're done with that, now you're going to move into what's called the child's pose. So you're going to get hands and knees again, but now your knees are going to come together. And this is a great lower back stretch. Move your arms out, and this is just relax. This is, a lot of people meditate in child's pose. So that's kind of the kind of movement it is, the kind of pose that it is. And as you can see, I'm kind of moving my fingers out forward to get a better lower back stretch. And then I move my hands back to my feet. And what this does is it helps me get lower even with my head and my shoulders and my back, and get even a better back stretch. Now you can hold this pose for as long as you like. I hold it generally for about a minute, 30 seconds with my arms stretched out, 30 seconds with my hands back on my feet. Now, when you go to get up from this, your head's been down for quite some time with downward dog and so forth. So be careful when you get up. You might be a little lightheaded, so I generally take my time. I go to 2 knees, then 1 knee, and then go ahead and stand up. Now the last thing we're going to do, and I know my head's cut out of this frame here, but the last thing we're going to do is we are going to work on our hamstrings, and we're going to try to touch our toes here. So we're going to move down slowly. Notice that my hips were moving side to side to side to side. I find that when you do that, that really helps loosen up that lower back, loosen up the hip area, and loosen up the high hamstrings, if you will, and it allows me to get a better stretch. Now, I've never been able to touch my toes, even in high school. I won't hear, when I do it here, you'll see that's not with completely straight legs. My legs are bent a little bit, but trust me, I'm doing a lot better than I was, say, a year ago with this. So my hamstrings are getting better. You want to hold that for 30 seconds if you can, and that is your stretch for the day. Congratulations. Go have an awesome day.